Hi, it's me, Kylie. Welcome to my backyard. It finally feels like spring out here. It's not technically spring yet, but ooh, that sun feels so good on my face. And I just found a sign of spring in my yard. It's the first thing every year that happens when I think spring is coming. Look at this. Little yellow flowers and purple flowers. I love them. And every year they show up right here. And it reminds me that spring and warmer days are ahead. I'm gonna pick just one of these and bring it into my house. But these flowers are so special, I think that you and I should make something special to carry them in once we pick the one that we choose. What do you think? All right, to the studio! See you guys soon. Welcome to the studio. I am so excited to show you the craft that we're going to be making today because basket making, or making a basket, is a craft that is ancient. Do you know what the word ancient means? It means super, 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 super old. Like things that have been around for thousands and hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of years. I live in North America, and basket weaving has been an ancient craft and art form in North America for a long time. In the Southwest United States, they have found baskets that are over 8,000 years old. Here's the supplies that you need to make your basket. You're gonna need 1 or 2 paper plates, 2 if you want to make a handle. Different kinds of yarn, string, ribbon, whatever kind of fibers you want to use. You're gonna need some glue, a little bit of tape. I'm using a plate and paintbrush for my glue, but if you have glue in a bottle, that'll work just fine. A circle shape you can trace, a marker or something to trace with, scissors, ruler, check, check, check. The first thing I'm gonna do is to cut the rim of this paper plate off. There we go, a nice round circle. Now I'm gonna cut out the handle for my basket from my other plate. Now I'm gonna use my ruler so that I can make these lines nice and precise. This will be the handle for a little basket. If you want a longer or bigger handle, you just need to use a longer piece of paper. Next, you need to choose the size of the bottom of your basket. So I picked this circle for the bottom. I'm gonna put it right in the middle of my paper plate and trace it. Now that we have our middle traced, we're going to cut lines around the whole perimeter, that means the edge of our circle. This will create the walls of our basket. You might not be able to imagine this right away, but just stick with me. You can use a ruler to measure these out, but you also don't have to. They don't have to be the same width all the way around. If they're different widths, that might even look kind of cool because you would get a different design of your basket. You get to pick. The only thing you need to think about as you make these cuts is that you make an odd number of sections. When I say odd number, I don't mean a number that's unusual. I mean a number that's not even. Do you know the difference between even numbers and odd numbers? Oh, math break!
Math break!
Here's how I remember the difference between even and odd numbers. If you stack them in a column of 2, like everyone is holding hands with a friend, like this, is the top flat or is the top even? Because even just means flat, smoothed out, totally level. Okay, so 2, 1, 2, is an even number, but 3, it's not. That's not even. Boom, 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 boom. That's a bumpy road. 3 is an odd number, a unique number. How about 4? Is the top flat or bumpy? It's flat. 4 is an even number. 5, odd. 6, even. 7, odd. 8, even. Are you starting to get it? 9, odd, and 10, even. It just keeps going like that. Now you know the difference between odd and even numbers.
Your math break is over.
So I'm going to cut an odd number of sections. When you get to the line we traced, stop cutting. That area is protected by this line so that there's a bottom to our basket. You can use a ruler to measure these out, but you also don't have to. They don't have to be the same width all the way around. If they're different widths, that might even look kind of cool because you would get a different design of your basket. You get to pick. 13 odd, so I need to make this one into 2, so it's 14, 15. Those 15 sections will end up being the warp of the weave that we're making. The warp are the lines that go up and down or vertically in a woven thing. So we have 15 warps for our basket. Our next step is to cut a little space between each section so that there's room for our yarn. I'm going to do that by cutting a little triangle, kind of like a pizza slice, between each section. Wow, it kind of looks like a sun or a flower, doesn't it? Or, a sunflower. Now you're going to be able to start to imagine the basket a little bit. The circle we traced is going to be the bottom, and these sections we cut, or the warps, are going to be the sides. See? Before we get weaving, I'm going to decorate the very bottom of my basket, which definitely can be woven, but that's not what we're doing here today. So I'm just going to add some yarn with glue. I'm going to start by making a little twirl and putting it in the very center. I already put my glue down so this sticks. Then I'm going to keep wrapping this in a coil, kind of like a snail, all the way until the bottom of my basket is covered. Once that's done, you just need to cut it. That glue will dry and hold it right in place. Now we're going to add some yarn. This is what's going to hold all of these sections together. This is what's called the weft. Find whatever color string, yarn, ribbon, whatever you're using you want to start with. And just to make it a little easier to hold, I'm going to tape this down. Then we're going to start weaving. The pattern that we're going to be using today is just over, under, over, under, over, under. Yes, over, under. You get it. This one's over, so for our next one, we're just going to go under, over, under. Getting it? Over, under, over, under. Now you get to decide if you want to keep going with that color or switch it up. You can make whatever kind of design you want. I'm going to do a couple more rounds with this teal color. For the first couple rows, it's okay to do this flat, but as you start getting closer, you're going to start lifting those warps up so that your weft can start holding it up into a basket shape instead of just a flat plate shape or something. I love it. And I think it's time for me to switch colors. To do that, I'm just going to cut my yarn off, and I'm just going to secure the end with a little bit of tape again, and then switch. I'm going to try this dark gray. Ooh. Once you've filled up your warps almost all the way to the top, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to punch some holes in the top so we can make a decoration around the top edge, and we're going to add on our handle. So let's start with our hole punches. Now that our holes are punched, we're about to put our handles on. So the first thing I'm going to do is take care of these extra ends. And how you're going to do that is you're just going to tuck them under the weave so that they stay nice and hidden and it looks really neat. There we go. Time to attach our handle and to make a cool design around the edge of this basket. First thing you need to do is decide where you want your handle to go, and then glue them down to the inside. We're going to use yarn to secure these too, but gluing them just helps you hold everything so you're not all... Now that your handles are attached, you just need some string. Now that your handles are attached, you're going to thread some yarn through the holes that we punched. Yarn gets really frayed on the ends. That means all the little pieces go everywhere, which can make it really hard to thread. So I'm gonna put a little bit of tape around the end of my yarn. It's a temporary threading needle. For every part of this design, I'm gonna start from the inside and go out. So inside, out. Then I'm gonna bring it up, go inside, out. I'm not gonna pull this really tight. I don't actually need it to hold anything. It's just a design. See that little twirly design it's making on top? Cool. When you get to the handles, just do the same thing. Go through the hole that you punched in your handle, then go between to go back in, and then just right through that hole again. Keep going all the way around. I decided to go around one more time on my top just because I want to double up that cool looking design. Our basket is looking awesome. Just one step left and it's to weave the handle. I'm going to use a pattern again that's just over, under, but there's only two. So I'm just going to be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I reach the other side. Over, under. Our basket is done. I love it. Is it perfect? No way. But that's what makes it special. And special enough to carry the first flower of spring. I'm so excited. Maybe you want to make a basket at home, but you don't have any flowers around. Or maybe when you're watching this, it's winter time. Where are you supposed to get a spring flower? Don't worry. A basket like this can have many purposes. Maybe you put one of the coolest rocks from your rock collection in here, or something very special that someone gave you. Maybe your favorite little toy. Or if your family celebrates Easter in the spring, maybe this would be the perfect place for an Easter egg. Oh yeah, that would totally work. But for us today, this is a special flower carrier. Let's go! You beat me. Okay, got my basket, got our flowers. Ready? Look, isn't it beautiful? Yeah. Okay, got our basket, got our flower. Perfect. I loved making this with you today. I loved our basket, I love spring, and I love when we get to hang out. If you want to make more art with me, just search for Kylee Makes It. Kylee. That's me. See you next time.